Kids are dumb. Teach.
Wow. I'm going to cut that out. Put that on social media. Kid hate.
I stand by it.
Yeah.
It may ruin my Senate campaign, but I stand by it. Also, I've been sexting a lot of ladies. I just like it.
Don't forget all the sodomy.
I belched again.
I know. That's why I'm waiting.
What's wrong with me?
You're a nervous
You know what it
belcher.
was? Pasta puttanesca.
Old
That's what
Tina
got me.
Belcher over there. Welcome
Thank
to
you for
your
recognizing that I belch, and I'm on crystal meth.
Welcome to Your Inner Child's an Idiot, the podcast where we look back on things from our childhood and see if they were any good to begin with. My name is DJ.
And I am Damon.
He's Bob Belcher, is what his name is. You didn't like that.
Well,
you didn't like this.
I liked the Tina thing, and I liked my crystal meth joke that I did.
Okay. All right. Fair
All
enough.
right.
Okay. We can make two Belcher family references. Damon, you son of a bitch. We are going to talk about a movie.
Okay.
I'm just going to give you that.
Unlike before.
A film, like most of the things we cover because we're lazy.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is from before we were born.
Okay.
And I think this is going to give it away if your memory is sharp tonight. But this is a movie that we started to do. We recorded an intro for, but then decided not to do it because it seemed crass given the recent events in the news.
9/11 the musical.
Yes, we are talking about 9/11 the musical. Please
Came
never
out in
forget.
the year 2000 too, which is weird.
Yeah, we
They
knew.
knew. Bush knew. We started to record it.
We started to record it. It's a very summertime movie. It's around our nation's birthday. It's not about that, but it's about that time of year. It's about summertime fun in the sun.
Is it a movie set in the 50s, but it was made in the 70s?
No.
Okay. Whew. I've
I believe it's
narrowly
set-
avoided Greece yet again.
I guess I don't know, which is weird given your family history.
Oppa!
But
This
no,
musical is not what we expected.
this is not what I thought this was going to be. Where's this going to go?
I'm just gonna see my way out, see about getting a refund.
I'm going to get out of here.
Where's the box of? Oh, that's the toilets. Box office is this way. Keep going.
Okay, keep going. Oh, that's the popcorn. No, that's popcorn. No, that's good. Bring that on your way back, but just keep going for now. All right.
I like that I'm getting a refund, but I am coming
You're
back.
gonna still watch the movie in this scenario. I don't know how refunds work.
No, sir, you can't go back in.
How about this?
Sorry,
Name a movie from the
1970s.
70s.
The Godfather.
I mean, you're not, as far as bigness, you're not too far off. Think summertime, think blockbuster, think a little scary.
Jaws?
Man, we're talking about Jaws.
Wait, what did we recorded an intro to Jaws and then we didn't bring it up because of
Yeah, there were
issues?
there were shark attacks like really close to when we did it. And it was like, I think this was a couple years ago now. I can't remember what year it was. But we were like, I feel like we should wait on this one. And I'm just crass enough to do it this time. I'm sure there's been a shark attack, but I don't care. We're going to talk about Jaws.
Take that, shark victims.
Steven Spielberg's Jaws.
Have you seen this before?
I have. Let me tell you a story
As have
about
I.
Jaws.
Yes.
I've only seen this. I think I've probably seen bits of it, just in popular culture. But the one time that I remember seeing it way too young was when I was probably, I don't know, maybe like 4 or 5 years old. And I burned my hands on a kerosene heater that was out in the garage.
Yeah.
I just leaned on it. And then I remember getting my hands bandaged, just kind of sitting because you can't really sleep. You can't really, do you have to go to the hospital or you just home bandages? I think we were home bandaged at this point.
What a
I think there were
cartoonish looking thing I'm imagining.
Yeah,
it's
just like white
you,
bandages.
like Yosemite Sam got tricked.
It was like
and
mittens.
your hands are bandaged.
Yeah. I'm just holding them upright because that hurt a little bit less, because it was above the heart. And watching Jaws, which was not age appropriate for me, but I think that's just what was on. And, it was the 80s. We just did what we could.
Yeah, watch this movie, kid. Put your hair in your chest.
Yeah.
Well, that's a terrible. I remember I have an injury story, but it's not related to Jaws.
Well, good, because we're just talking about injuries.
I had a sparkler on the 4th of July.
Okay.
And my brain was like, what if we grab it? So
Sure.
I did. I grabbed it with my hand. Searing hot pain.
Yeah.
And it gave me, I don't think I have the scar anymore, but I had a pink line all the way down my hand for a good month.
Did you do one of those?
Probably.
Yeah.
Also, another July 4th, I had my wisdom teeth out and I was sitting there swollen, holding yet again a sadder sparkler as I waited for Dad to get away from the fireworks that he insisted on lighting, and I thought he was definitely going to lose an arm.
I can't even grab it. I learned that on the other 4th of July. I think this is going to be great.
This classic American film?
This classic movie. I do think this is... I think I have a... what's the opposite of a penchant for 70s movies? Where
you
I just find their slowness... An allergen. I find their slowness challenging sometimes, especially in this age of... I have an even shorter attention span than I used to have.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think, I'm going to have to force myself to pay attention because I think it's all about tension building. You don't even see the shark very much,
I may annoyed at you because I was just about to mention that you don't see the shark until the end. You know when you do see the shark, though, you know what bothers me about him? And this is actually the first thing I think about when I think of Jaws. All the bits in his teeth. Floss, Jaws!
He's got bits in his teeth?
Like pink bits of flesh in his teeth. And I'm like,
you got to get that.
If I was Jaws, that's all I'd be doing. And you got multiple rows of teeth, you'd be busy for days. You wouldn't have time to terrorize a small town.
By the time you finish flossing, it's time to eat again.
And you're always moving forward, so you have to just keep thinking about that too.
Ugh. What is your feeling towards the ocean and sharks in general? Are you terrified of them? Or?
I'm fine with sharks. I'm not scared of them particularly, but I do not like vast things.
Sure.
I don't like oceans, and I do not like space. I do not like space. Creeps me out. And oceans creep me out beyond belief. I do not like them.
Same I am.
I do not, and I will not enjoy an ocean with a fox.
Boat? Yeah.
But I remember this was, I felt like it was on TBS like constantly. They must have won this license. We're like, we are going to run this into the goddamn ground. And I remember watching this and then Jaws 2 and then Jaws 3D, which was not in 3D on my tube-based television.
Yeah, we didn't have that technology yet.
I think I did fall asleep during Jaws the Revenge with Michael Caine.
Is that 3?
No, that's the 4th one.
Oh, 4th. Okay.
Where Michael Caine plays a sharkologist or whatever who comes to help the widow, Roy Scheider's widow in the 4th movie. Because Roy Scheider was like, I'm not coming back for another one of these fucking things. And it's supposed to be terrible. And Michael Caine famously in his biography said, I don't remember filming Jaws the Revenge, but I do love the house it bought me.
Yeah, fair enough. This movie starring noted asshole.
Fuck, Richard Dreyfuss again? We just talked about, why were we talking about Richard Dreyfuss recently?
Was that
the American president?
American president. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah.
We're talking about What About Bob, of course.
Yeah. Another movie that we've talked about doing, but being like, I don't want to watch this. I know people love that movie, but it bothers me in a way that I'm like, I'm not sure I'm going to like this. And it's going to make me uncomfortable.
Apparently it was a real toxic set.
Yeah. Maybe those guys are not great guys. I don't know.
Anything's possible.
Allegedly. I think this will be a fun, summer romp of teens getting swallowed by sharks,
Jaws was a movie that when I finally did see it, the same thing happened with Goodfellas and Godfather before it. Actually, I think I watched both those films after I saw Jaws. But having watched a lot of Mystery Science Theater and The Simpsons and a lot of stuff that parodies films, I was like,
that's where all these come
that's
from.
why Bart scratches the chalkboard when he wants to pull a prank on Springfield A&M. It's because that's what he does in Jaws.
I think The only one I can think of is we're going to need a bigger boat, which is a pretty good line, if I remember correctly. So
Tyler says it a lot. I think because he knows it annoys me when he says it, because I think he does it as a parody of people quoting obvious quotes from things. And so whenever we need a bigger anything, he will say, I think we need a bigger boat.
That's a good one to do, like apropos of nothing, where you're like, okay, I'm going to get my shoes on real quick before I go to the store. We're going to need a bigger boat. And we're like, what the hell are you talking about?
What are you fucking on about? We both, I assume, are attracted sexually to Roy Scheider a little bit.
Is that okay? That is the
even though he looks like he's been tanned.
I'm
Roy
a shark
Scheider
fighter.
is the police chief, Chief Brody in this movie.
I don't think I even know which guy that is.
You probably know him best from Sequest
Oh,
DSV.
yeah. Yeah, sure.
Or that Fosse movie from the 70s.
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
All your favorites.
I want to bang Roy Scheider. Is that what you're asking me to say?
That's what I'm asking you to say.
Now that can be clipped for all the internet to see. All the internet to see.
All the internet has been wondering about your sexuality towards Roy Scheider, and this is their chance.
Everybody's gonna remix that. I want to have sex with Roy Scheider. Roy Scheider.
Or they'll see that and they'll say Stitch incoming, and then it'll talk about how you're a monster. POV, you're a piece of shit.
They're not wrong.
POV, you're a POS. That's what I should have said.
Oh, damn it.
God bless it.
Use take two.
Rob, can you edit it so I'm funnier?
He's like, no, I've been trying.
No, I desperately have been working on that project for years, and I'm no closer to getting to that point.
Watch Jaws along with us. We'll be back after these messages from us, probably.
Most likely.
I realized we should have recorded this one first.
Well, we can just switch them.
But we can switch it, but we can't. Yeah. You got to record it first.
Well, yeah, but we're handling that now.
So this is...
Within an hour, this should be recorded, unless I touch my mic or anything else.
Burp a lot.
Or belch a lot. I did get a fart out before I hit record, so...
I'm going to set the scene, and you make a very intimidating...
Oh, no. Okay. Wait, I'm going to make an intimidating ad?
Yeah.
But the shark doesn't talk.
Yeah, he does. Come on down to patreon.com/ you're in a challenge idiot. That's the other part.
You look into the eyes of patreon.com, and it's got those cold eyes, those black eyes, like a doll's eyes. Go to You're in a Child's an Idiot. And donate to your comfort level, and
you'll see my scars.
A harrowing story of me almost dying at sea.
This is my scar here from that 1 month we didn't get enough donations, and I had to go into the bramble bush to pick out pennies to pay the bills. We don't want that happening again. Patreon.com/ You're in a Child an Idiot. Perfect.
See, and I helped.
We are back. We watched Jaws, 1975.
Thank you for naming the year.
It's the tale of it's a shark's tale. It's the original shark's tale.
Yeah.
And
in fact, the people who made A Shark's Tale, they originally were like, what if we tell the story of an island being harrowed by a great white shark? And they were like, I'm afraid that's already been done. And like, all right, we'll just do like a remake of the 1970s comedy Car Wash with Will Smith and Jack Black. We'll just do that.
We'll do a not bad remake of the song Car Wash for it.
And that's the highlight of the movie is Christina Aguilera's cover of the song Car Wash. She plays the jellyfish-like character.
Yeah. Wobbling around. What we're not
stinging people, about, getting pissed on.
What we're not talking about is Shark Tale. What we are talking about is Jaws. It's the tale of Amity Island.
Sorry.
Island off of Massachusetts, I think. And
it's got that vibe. It's got a Massachusetts vibe, or as Tyler sometimes stumbles over it, massive two shits.
Massive nice. Wow.
He doesn't on by he's like Massachusetts.
What?
I'm like,
what
a
mass hole. What a mass hole.
By proxy.
It's the story of Chief Brody, it's his first summer as chief of the island. And wouldn't you know it, a shark attacks a young lady. But, in classic
Could have been
horror...
a boat accident.
In classic horror film fashion, she deserved it because she was nude. She was skinny dipping, and the shark got hungry, and those two things don't mix. And they find her body. He's immediately shutting down the beaches, and he's confronted by the mayor, who's like, "Hey, we really gotta shut down the beaches, or can we just keep it open?" And that's the central conflict of the film: is do we have to tell everybody, or can we just kind of let it happen?
At least the human to human conflict. The main conflict is we gotta kill this fucking shark.
There's a fucking shark. That's the whole actually second half of the movie is them fucking killing the shark. Eventually, gentleman comes to town, played by Richard Dreyfuss. He's a scientist, an oceanographer, a guy who's real into sharks.
Shark expert.
He's a shark expert. Sharkologist. There was a word for it that I didn't learn. And he along with Chief Brody, team up with Quint, played by Robert Shaw, who's the local curmudgeonly captain, shark hunting captain, and they seek revenge on this is actually
that's
Jaws
the
Revenge.
fourth Jaws movie.
Because he's real
Jaws the
pissed about
Revenge.
having get blowed up, and they spend the second half of the movie just tracking this shark, and it mostly kicking their ass until at the end they shoot the compressed air in its mouth and it blows up. It blowed up real good, and only I think 8 or 9 people die in this movie. So, you
should go on one of those horror movie websites to name the body count. They always like to do that.
Who's the real winner? Summer tourism on Amity Island, because the mayor was. What I don't understand about okay, I'm done with the recap. You get it.
Yeah.
Jaws attacks, we kill the shark. What I don't get about the mayor's whole thing. So I get it. The whole island is built around, the economy is built around tourism in the summer, especially. It's about to be 4th of July weekend, which is why we're covering this. God bless America. It's the
Why start now, God?
This is the demi-sequicentennial blooper. It's 250. I don't remember what the word for that is. Look it up while I'm talking. And am I supposed to be? Is it you? No. Yeah. Craig, get on that. And so I understand the motivation of hey, we can't scare away all these tourists, but the tourists come, so they have the one attack and they keep the beaches open. But you can have the beaches open, but close the ocean part. They do it all the time. There's algae blooms. There's jellyfish, infestations. There's sargassum just washing up, and they have
sargassum. What's that?
It's the seaweed, the big kind of Okay. I think that's how you say it.
Since you're already interrupted by someone else, the word you're looking for is a semi-quincentennial.
Which is strangely enough Quint's full name. So all the people come because they don't freak out and close the beaches. They come for the 4th of July weekend, but they are on the beach already.
Your question is, they don't earn money from whether people swim or not.
Right. Why? I mean, I know it's because of the movie, but I want a little bit better explanation. Why does he care so much? Because people aren't swimming because of the shark attacks that they've heard about. And then he convinces some local donor or whatever to get in the water. And then it causes everyone to go in the water. And they're splishy. And guess what? More people get it. And what I don't understand is they had their delightful hotel money already. They were already buying bomb pops and cherry widgets and whatever you buy. I'm not familiar with the foodstuffs of Amity Island. So what's the fucking deal, Mayor?
Well, I mean, I think the logic would be that it speaks to people's reticence to get in the water, speaks to maybe there might be a drop off in summer tourism. If people are effectively scared enough to get in the water, then word of mouth might spread, and then the rest of the summer might drop off. I think he wants, but I think he also wants to convey an air of normalcy. Everything's fine. No need to worry about anything.
He didn't get in the water.
He didn't get in the water. Didn't convince his kids to get in the water. We found out later at the hospital that he's like, my kids were out there too. I'm like, yeah, but he didn't tell them to get in the fucking water. You told some old man and his grandkids to get in the water.
Well, nobody's going to follow some dumb kids. You know?
Kids are dumb. Teach.
Wow. I'm going to cut that out. Put that on social media. Kid hate.
I stand by it.
Yeah.
It may ruin my Senate campaign, but I stand by it. Also, I've been sexting a lot of ladies. I just like it.
Don't forget all the sodomy.
Now, that's his private life. The important thing is he's going to give me a goddamn tax cut.
Look, no one gives a shit what you do in private, Lindsey Graham. So
don't forget, we have a lieutenant governor who's commenting on Twink's Instagram reels.
Yeah.
You know, I hate your politics, love the game, but like, and it like no one brings it up anymore. I'm like, who? First off, don't comment on anything
ever.
I have
certainly not
DM,
anything lascivious.
I'm gonna. By the way, my goal in this episode is to completely derail conversation because this may be a mathematically perfect movie, so I don't really have anything to say. But I have a DM exchange with a dear friend, and we like to share pictures of men back and forth.
Raunchy.
And we are scared of, it does get raunchy, but we are so scared that, because you'll look at the comments of these men that we're sharing back and forth, and it's always like 50, 60 something men being like, you are gorgeous. You know, I'd give anything to wake up next to someone like you. I'm like, Adam, if I ever write anything, if I ever comment on anyone's Instagram comment, just kill me right away and tell the judge I told you it was okay. Put me down like a
said
dog.
It was cool.
Take me to the vet and have them put me down.
All right, you're manslaughter. But I think
out of here.
Get out of here, rapscallion. I think that
time served.
It always baffles me too, because it's like the people who just yell out the window at other people. Let's be honest, it's men mostly yelling at women that are like, "Hey, can I get with you?" You know, or whatever. You're like, does that work? Because I think it's got to be like the spam call.
Do you have a spreadsheet on like the data here that you've been collecting? Like, how often is this working?
It's got to be like spam call, where like, I mean, it must work enough, you know?
Must it?
No.
Who is responding to this stuff?
I don't think that's right. Let's go through our characters here. Let's talk about Brody, shall we?
Brody.
So you're on a scale of 0 to, you would text pictures of him in that DM conversation you were talking about. Where are you putting old Roy Scheider on this?
I mean, he'd be a left to center throw. Adam would be like, what's this? There is something about him. There's something very 70s about him, in that there is like no sun protection whatsoever. He is just Naugahyde at some point.
Yeah.
But
he does get tanner, I feel like, as the movie goes along. I like that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, you are a burnt umber, sir, by the end of this movie. Not to mention, I mean, you're just out in the sun when you're out on the Orca, nothing to hide under in the open seas, they say. They say also facts. Facts
open
are they.
Seas,
The
they
I'm referring to is just the fact that there's nothing over the sea to cover you. But yeah, he's very handsome. I also, and call me paging Dr. Freud, I also realized he kind of looked like my grandpa. When my grandpa was younger, he kind of looked like Roy Scheider in Jaws. So
I like he's also on the side of just like he's trying to do the right thing. You know, that's sexy, right? Doing the right thing.
Of course.
Okay.
I think so. I think technically it is still sexy, but we'll see what the laws say by next year.
Next time. That uniform, you love the man in uniform.
I do love a man in uniform. I love a man. I love a beach cop in Vans, just just trying to keep amity safe.
Keep the peace.
Also, it seems like he took the job because he's like, this will be a cakewalk.
Yeah,
he used to be a cop in New York. He's like, I didn't feel like it could make a difference, but I could come here where there's virtually no crime and possibly make a difference, which is something I can relate to, which is like, where's the least amount of work
you want to be
I can do?
Not to belabor the metaphor of the movie, but you want to be a big fish in a little pond. Absolutely.
I thrive in that. Don't put me up in competition with other big fish. I will be eaten immediately. I want to say something. I did say this is a mathematical perfect movie. I really don't want to be the guy who's like, movies are too long these days. But what I appreciate about this movie, and maybe this is the problem with movies these days, is that this movie can walk and chew gum at the same time. Like, it doesn't have to have a scene that's just exposition and then a scene that is plot development. It can propel the plot forward while also like giving us more information on Brody.
Boat, like
and
a boat?
All like a boat. Boats get propelled. Trains also get propelled. So, I mean, it
But
does
not
get
with
confusing.
propellers.
That's a good point. So, but airplanes, biplanes, they get propelled in that way. That's mostly lift
They're
and
pulling.
drag.
These propellers are pushing. Like Steven Spielberg's directing.
But yeah, I mean, I feel like the first half of this movie, almost feels like a Robert Altman film in that everyone's just talking over each other constantly.
Very 70s. Yeah.
It's very cut off. Everyone's just like, he's like walking through the town after the girl was killed in the initial scene. Like he's walking through the town and everyone's just like coming out. There's a July 4th, like practice parade, perhaps. No one seems to be bothered that people are walking through it. So I'm like, just assuming it's a practice parade. And the entire town is like coming out and they're talking to Chief Brody about their minor complaints with things while he's trying to get things done. While he's also like providing instructions to his deputy chief and his secretary, who I loved and I wanted her to be in more scenes, was just loudly talking about stuff.
The fence.
It was just a great scene. And I feel like we slowly learn over the movie about Chief Brody without having to like sit down and be like, okay, guys, let's just get this out of the way. The exposition scenes.
Yeah.
It felt like we were learning a lot about them. And then even when when we have like the town meeting, everyone's talking over each other, but you pick up from those conversations, oh, well, this woman owns a hotel in town, so she's worried about the beaches closing. And this guy runs this other business in town, but this person's concerned about this. It's just such a masterfully well done movie that it's just accomplishing so much. Every scene feels like it's accomplishing two things at least at once.
Yeah.
So it feels like, even though I feel like it's a fairly sizable movie, I feel like it moves at a good clip.
Yeah, and even when you have a good example of what you're talking about is like a scene that doesn't really, I mean, in the town, it doesn't really accomplish anything. It accomplished something as far as the plot and the the story, but like they get on the little boat to try. Basically, Brody has shut the bay down. You can't use it, and then there's some people out there fishing who haven't heard this, and so he goes out there on the boat, and then like the guy, like the mayor and a bunch of guys, get on the
corner, and then his deputy chief is there hanging out of the car,
and they all get on this like flat boat. So they drive the car on there, and then as they're driving out, because their original purpose was Brody was riding out to these guys to be like, hey, get off the sea. And so they come with him.
Get off the sea over here. Jesus, tide's coming in and everything.
Get off the water. But as they're going, they join him, and they're basically being like, no, you can't do this. You have to have, all these reasons or whatever. And they're like, it could have been a boat accident, or that's what the coroner's saying. But the way it's shot, they're pulling, and the camera's like following them around as the boat like maneuvers. And it's very interesting. It's a very cool like camera thing. And I don't think that unless you're kind of paying attention to it on purpose, like I was, or if you're like an auteur or something, you like a directing nerd, it's just a way of engaging the audience when something kind of exposition-y is happening.
But it also subconsciously sets in your mind, like, this is an island, this is how they get around.
Yes.
It's completely separate from everything else.
Yeah. And it's like, I think it's, a very light metaphor for like, this conversation doesn't go anywhere because he ends up just riding back.
Right.
And because they don't tell the guys to get off the sea. So I love it. It's very well shot. It doesn't feel gimmicky either. I guess it could if you were like, just shoot straight.
No, it's not very showy, but you're absolutely, and I didn't even pick up on the metaphor that it just sort of ends up back where it started.
Yeah.
It also introduces Mayor Vaughn and how he sort of runs this town.
Yeah, it's actually him
with a sort of smiling fist.
Yeah, and I think Brody doesn't like the ocean, like doesn't like being on a boat.
Yeah.
And I think that's, you can kind of see, I mean, I don't know how much I'm reading into that, but like, it's just the way that Scheider plays him, kind of like, he's not like, but like he's uncomfortable. And he's uncomfortable because a woman has just died, but also he has to do something he doesn't want to do, which is shut down the beach and the ocean. And he doesn't want to have this conversation, and he knows what the right thing to do is, and he's getting, you know what I mean? Like, it's all these things that are making him kind of like feel that nausea
You immediately
really
see like he's not a political beast, so he's not attuned. He's like, this is the thing we need to do. The girl was killed.
He does it
something.
Yeah.
The coroner said it was a shark attack, so I'm just doing what I was told. And then all of a sudden the coroner's like, it could have been a boat accident.
Yeah.
After the mayor is like, could have been a boat accident.
Could it have been a boat?
But maybe a boat accident, perhaps?
Yeah.
I also want to say before we get too far away from him, because he's not a big character, but the guy who plays the deputy chief, I was like, who is that?
Oh, yeah.
And it was driving me crazy because there's a scene where he's sort of, I think it's when Scheider hands off the signs. He's like, paint these beaches closed signs, have my secretary do the printing. Don't you do the printing, have my secretary do the printing. And I was like, he makes a face where I'm like, I've seen that face before. Who is this actor? He is the motorist in Clue who gets bashed over the head with a wrench. A movie that I have like just swimming in my subconscious. I was like, why do I know that person's face?
What is it? Which actor is that?
What is his name? He's hold on, I still have semi-quincentennial.
I don't know what his name is in the. Is it Hendrix?
Yeah.
What is the character?
Yeah.
Jeffrey Kramer?
Yes.
All right. Yeah, I do not recognize him. I do not have Clue as seared onto the back of my eyelids.
It's fine. You're a normal person.
That's definitely not true. Well, I feel like I really like his relationship with his wife too. I'm just real quick because she doesn't get a ton to do.
It's not fraught. Like they have a really, it's seemingly like healthy relationship. There's
conflict, but it's like she's worried about him.
A normal relationship conflict. Yeah.
She's worried about the boys. I really like the scene. I think her best scene, she has a lot of good scenes, but her best scene is when he's reading about sharks and kind of freaking out. And then his boys are playing in the boat, but it's on the water.
Tied to the pier.
Yeah, it's tied. They're not going anywhere. And he's like, boys, get out of there. And she's like, what's the big deal? They're just on the water. And then she sees in the book, like a shark biting through the hull of the ship. And she's like, Boston, you and your father, get out of there. I really like that.
It was a very good scene. I also want to talk about, let's talk about, do you want to talk about her some more? Do you want to move on to Richard?
She doesn't get a ton to do, unfortunately. I mean, she's like our main character. Maybe her and the secretary are basically it. But... And the one who gets eaten. The one minor complaint, because I liked her and Roy Scheider's relationship so much, I wish we did, even if it was brief, have a reunion scene when he gets back to shore. But that's a very minor complaint. I just like her character. And it felt like because she gave him a goodbye before he got on Quint's ship, I wanted like a little, I'm back, honey. And there is a moment where
at the end of
she radios out to their boat and Quint answers and lies to her and basically like, we caught a couple tuna. We'll be back in an hour or something. I don't know what he says.
Which feels very unsatisfactory.
Yeah.
It feels like the movie is like still like, hey, don't forget Mrs. Brody, perhaps.
Yeah.
And then you never get a satisfactory and then it's solved. Richard Dreyfuss is sort of introduced maybe a third of the way through. Brody calls him, after the initial claim of a shark attack, they call an expert from one of the schools nearby. What school perhaps might be near Amity Island? I don't know, perhaps a beautiful crimson-colored school. But
MIT?
Amity University.
MIT.
Go Sharks!
That's what Amity stands for, MIT.
That's where they got the name.
Yeah, wow.
Richard Dreyfuss, what is his character's name?
Matt Hooper.
I was like, is it Cooper Hooper?
It's actually kind of hard for me to remember their names, even though this is such an iconic movie. I think because they don't really say them very often. I think Brody, they say the most.
Brody and Quint. I remember Quint because it's such a specific name.
Yeah.
He's introduced halfway through. I like his introduction. He's sort of a young man, gets off of his boat, and he had one of my favorite interactions. There's just a big burly sailor who's like sort of helps him off his boat onto the dock. And Richard Dreyfuss goes, hello. And the guy goes, hello back, young fella. Like, what a deranged person. And this man is like 8 foot, 14 inches tall. Like this is towering over Richard Dreyfuss, but seemed like the most friendly giant they could have
That
a
whole
big
sequence
friendly giant.
when he gets off the boat, because everybody's going out to the there's been a
Because of the crazy reward for the shark.
yeah reward put out for hunting the shark, and so everybody's like scammering. That's when he gets there, when Hooper gets there, and so he's getting off the boat, and like Brody doesn't know who he is at first, and then even when he says who he is, he doesn't really recognize what he means, and he's like, "Can you help me?" He like immediately has
Can
him
you
like
get those
yell.
guys off that boat?
He's like, "Tell those sailors over there that they're weighing down their boat," and they're like, "Ah," and he's like, "Okay." Anyway, they don't listen to him. So where can I eat? I just really like that. He brings an interesting energy. I don't think I ever like remember this movie well enough to like remember his character. But I like the like conflict of him versus Quint comes up a lot more later.
Yeah, the schoolboy versus the old salty dog.
Yeah. And also the whole subplot of him being rich and like having just because he has a boat full of fancy equipment, and then he brings, and honestly, it's kind of what saves the day. So nerds rule.
I will say this. That is
drool.
something I liked about this movie as a nerd. That I feel like the trope, at least these days, is the scientist came in with his highfalutin equipment, but it was this common sense, working class man who saved the day because he just knows intrinsically what to do. And it was like, no, this man doesn't know what to do. And it's actually the scientist who's able to at least get us closer to figuring it out.
They all kind of just didn't know what to do, but there's 3 of them, so eventually they get him. I feel like that they kind of lucked into defeating this shark, just because it was like, what's really crazy about the shark, I guess I'm jumping forward a little bit, but like what's crazy about the shark is really all they estimated was A, its bloodlust, and B, its size. Or it's just like, it's got a real revenge factor that maybe animals don't actually have in real life for the most part, unless they have rabies or something. But also just like, it's real big. And it's even bigger than Quint thought. It's even bigger than Hooper thought. And that's really about it. We're going to need a bigger boat, for example.
We are. Tyler was doing his laundry when he said it. And Tyler loves referencing, we're going to need a bigger whatever.
You mentioned that.
And so I was like, Tyler, you're going to miss it. You're going to miss it. They just realized how big the fish is. You know what's coming. And he's like, I could hear him from like 2 rooms over. But I like Richard Dreyfuss. He has like a cagey, nerdy energy that I think really is fitting to the character. I always think of with his character is like, well, do you have any other better suggestions? When he says that at Brody, I think later. But Richard Dreyfuss is very good in this role. Yeah, despite him being a douchebag now. Just throwing that out there.
He doesn't have the same like. I feel like it's a non-tropey nerd. You know what I mean? Like, because he's like athletic and rich and has all this equipment. It's like, it's not like, Poindexter over here has, you know what I mean? I don't know. It's like
Professor Frink is not what Hooper is.
Yeah, he's definitely a nerd.
He feels like a well-developed character.
Yeah, it's an actual, and he also is part of one of my favorite exchanges, which is when he comes to visit the Brodies when they're at dinner, and there's a bit another. Well, I don't know which attack this was at this point, but
after the boy, and they catch a tiger shark, thinking it's the shark.
But he comes over and Miss Brody goes, "So my husband tells me you're in sharks," which they both laugh about too. Like I love when characters laugh at funny things in movies.
Yes, I do like it when someone says something funny and it's one of the things I love about Bob's Burgers. I'm like, someone said something funny. Why wouldn't these people laugh?
Yeah. It's very good. You want to talk about Quint?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Quint is my nominee for the Catherine O'Hara.
Okay.
He is my favorite character in here. And I think this is when I realized, I think this may have been when I texted you where I was like, you know what's nice? Being in the hands of a masterful director. Yeah. When Quint is introduced, it's during the city council scene.
That's my favorite
And this is a scene that's been parodied like 1,000 times. But I really appreciated how masterfully done it was in that we hear him, of course, he scratches his nails down a chalkboard to get the attention of everyone. Just like Bart Simpson would 20 years later. And they stole it from The Simpsons. They're time travelers.
Who knew?
Simpsons did it second. But Quint, you see that, you see his hand go down in a close-up, and then you see the whole crowd he's reacting to it, and you see some reaction shots of them looking, and then you see the crowd from behind as they're turned, and the camera sort of moves through them and the crowd parts. And then the camera just swoops in on Quint.
Yeah, it's a good zoom.
It's such a fantastic hero shot, and it's effective because Quint essentially disappears from the story after he is introduced.
Yeah.
And it's a really masterful way of being like, don't forget about this guy. He's going to be coming up later. And it's just so effective of just not like having Quint pop up every 3 seconds or everyone being like, what about that old crazy Quint guy upstate?
Yeah.
They just introduce him with a giant hero shot like fucking John Wayne gets in Stagecoach, just zooming in on him, and you go, my brain says I should remember this man until the day I die. And then when we get on the Orca for the latter half of the movie, he's just, I mean, he's a very frustrating character.
Yeah.
He's not someone I would want to hang around with, but he's so well developed. He's obviously the town crank.
Right.
No one wants to deal with him, but he obviously knows what he's doing. You can tell that Hooper is really pleased when they initially get to his shack with all the shark jaws everywhere. Hooper's like, this is the guy who's going to help us get this guy.
The shark hunter will help us hunt this shark.
Hunt this shark. Why didn't I think of it? All my book learning didn't teach me that shark hunters can hunt sharks. And then we get on the boat, and you're sort of trapped with a madman a little bit.
Yeah.
But then the movie isn't just content with that, and he's not like a laughingstock, and he's not a villain either. And then you get a really compelling story of the USS Indianapolis. You sort of realize why he sort of
that monologue
might be real. It's such a. I mean,
so
we're not the first pair of people to say it, but it is a fantastic fucking monologue.
Famously,
and he's British. Robert Shaw is an Englishman.
But otherwise, pretty much his character, it seems like he was like a drunken mess on this, and was like, apparently he thought it would be, you know, more in character if all three of them were drunk. So he like led the charge and was drunk, and then they did a million takes and it didn't work. And then the next day he was like very apologetic, like in the light of day, and they reshot it, and apparently he did. I don't know if it really was, you know, the first take or whatever, but he like nailed it, and that was their actual genuine reaction, which you would understand being wrapped, because he crushes it. Not only is it a great monologue written on the page, but he just it's a devastating story, and like his telling of it is just really enrapturing.
Yeah, it's amazing. I always the line that sticks with me is like, and sometimes the shark will go away, and sometimes the shark wouldn't go away. And I'm like, oh my gosh. But you also, I mean, he does a really great. There's like a toxic masculinity about him in that he will never say that he's scared. But Robert Shaw does a great job of showing that he is scared by him reacting more and more erratically to things. Yeah. Driving, like pushing his boat. And you can tell it's like, because he's fucking scared of this shark. He's like encountered the shark that he can't beat. And like probably triggering up all his trauma that he has from, you know, watching his friends getting eaten by sharks. It's also true. It's such a masterful performance, and that's a version of a true story
too, which is absolutely.
And to this audience, they would be well aware of the USS Indianapolis, which I think was kept. I think it is a late reveal in history. I think it would be somewhat new news.
1974. No, I don't know. I don't know when they.
I think it was kept largely confidential until long after the war. Is
one of the many great things Nixon did.
Why am I just saying things?
I believe it was, I have no idea, o'clock when they learned. He's also good at his little songs and his little phrases. Here's to swimming with bow-legged women.
Great.
For example. What are you, some kind of half-assed astronaut? She says to Hooper with all of his gear.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. Very good. Very good. And there's another one, but I can't think about it now. But it's very good. Or were you looking up?
I am, but you might be surprised, but this wartime ship has a really long Wikipedia page.
Do USS Indianapolis win learn into Google?
Gemini, I've got some questions for you. Oh, it told me to kill myself.
It may not be true, but it will tell you something.
I'll take everything I said back, but that is something in my brain that I have that I feel like the USS Indianapolis, the full story of it was a late reveal.
Yeah, there was a story and again, never trust IMDb trivia, but there was like a woman who had like knew that it was her husband or son or something had died on that ship, but didn't know how or like what happened because they never told her, just that he was lost at sea or whatever. And so that was like watching this movie made her be like, oh, is that really what happened? And I was like, kind of, maybe.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. That's what you want to talk about the shark.
One more thing on Quint. I do enjoy that as the boat's slowly sinking and they're sort of pumping things out and they're sort of realizing like, oh, fuck. John Williams works in Spanish ladies into the score for Quint, like looking around, which he's been singing on and off.
Yeah.
Spanish ladies.
Very
Just
good.
delight.
Very good. That John Williams, also good at scoring things.
That's a shame he just sort of disappeared after this. Never scored a thing again.
I do think this one is, it's not his most memorable work beyond the very obvious, which is
like aside from the most quintessential thing.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I guess like all of the movies have just like one like main theme and then like incredible variations thereof. So I guess I'm wrong about that. I'll accept.
I mean, it's a pretty amazing theme.
Yeah, yeah.
It also you mentioned this. I can't remember if we're recording, but it's not as used as you'd think it would be used.
Yeah, it really isn't. And they pointedly didn't use it when it's not a shark that's there. It's the boys like with their cardboard shark fin.
Good call out. Yeah,
it's silence during that whole thing because it's like, no, we only use it when the shark's actually there.
The score knows. It's an omniscient score.
Did you guys read The Score Keeps the Score? It's a great book. So the shark
third-person omniscient score.
The shark is infamous in this movie because there were 3 different versions of the shark and they mostly didn't work. And so through the power of directing and mostly editing, they like figured out how to make it still scary. And when it did show up, it's mostly very effective. There are some things that I don't think super hold up. Like it's mostly when you see the shark the most at the end. If you're really looking, it's a little like, well, that's not a real shark. Except for the moments when it is, when like he's attacking the cage, that is an actual shark.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah.
Which is crazy.
There are some the live footage is intermixed.
Yeah.
I think it also helps in that sharks have dead eyes, as Quint mentions, in real life. So, oh no, our animatronic shark has dead eyes. Who cares?
Yeah.
They also have smooth skin. They don't have fur. You know, they have that weird cartilagey, fishy skin. I don't like maritime stuff. So I mean, I think that works in that, you put a rubber thing on a mechanical shark and it passes largely.
Yeah. As long as you keep it in the water. Just keep it in the water.
Just keep it in the water. And just a fin or two, that's enough. And just quick shots of stuff. I think it largely holds up in that I think that this is the right animal to do a 1970s animatronic beastie. This is the right one to do.
Have you been to the Universal in California where they used one of the actual sharks to attack you?
No, I've only been to Universal in Orlando where they had a shark and a teenager, at least in the 90s, drives the boat around and shoots at the shark to protect you. I think the Amity set is still there at Universal Florida, but it's slowly being eaten by Harry Potter stuff.
Yeah.
King's Cross is right next to the Amity fish and chip shop you can stop at.
It's just kind of crazy. That's like, I know they had a bunch of other Jaws, but you're like, this movie is like super old, you guys. But it's still going strong.
Well, I think Spielberg was like, yeah, you can use my shit.
Yeah.
It is a Universal picture. And he's like, and what if we built a really shitty E.T. ride that Phyllis Anthopoulos will be hesitant to get on in 1996? Mr. Spielberg, you're a genius. I believe Mother's quote is, it's not like that Back to the Future ride, is it? She asked a young teenager at the information desk.
Oh, ma'am, I don't really know. But I think they obviously did a great job with the shark. It's very scary. I think that this belongs, I don't think it's the kind of problematic that we use the problematic corner, but spurred a lot of people going after sharks and gave sharks worse reputation than they probably deserve in an actual conservation way. It was actually really damaging to shark populations, which is not cool. Don't do that. Don't go hunting sharks.
Don't believe things you see in movies are real.
But also be careful. They do actually bite. They have lots of teeth. They are very scary. And I think the best,
the medical shots of the bodies that when Brody is going through that book.
Yeah. It seemed real. I don't know if that was real, but it seemed real.
Yeah, it was a real book. They used a real book. They didn't CGI it into his hands after the shot was made.
Listen, you can make fake books in 1975. Okay, they're just
they felt like medical.
They did.
They felt very accurate. They didn't feel like staged.
I guess we should talk about just Steven Spielberg some more. We've obviously dropped a lot of things, but there's a few other things.
Is that how it's pronounced? Spielberg.
I mentioned I think the boat shot is my favorite when they're doing the little exposition and he follows them around. But he does the the reverse Hitchcock when the little boy is being attacked on the beach. Where they zoom as they dolly back or whatever it is. I don't know how you do it. It's either zoom forward while you zoom in out.
While you're also pulling back or vice
it's from
versa.
Vertigo, or it's famously used in Vertigo, but I think they did the reverse of it. So whichever direction that is. But it gives this very eerie effect of you stay the same kind of on the person's face, but everything looks weird and kind of moves, and it's very cool. And I feel like it's not. I mentioned this with the boat shot, it never feels like show-offy or gimmicky. Like sometimes you're like, oh, Dutch angle, you can kind of really get pointed out, but it just feels really appropriate. It usually adds to the tension or the exposition in some way, and he's real good at directing.
No, I mean the scene, that Spielberg guy, he's going places. Retirement fairly soon.
Yeah, probably.
But the early scenes, and especially that scene on the beach on July 4th, is so effective in that it really puts you in the mind of Brody, in that you are also trying to watch the beach while people keep talking at him about things. And that one businessman who's just in the shot, and he does these sort of double focus where the guy's in focus and the beach is in focus, so you can keep watching both, and it keeps getting distracting. There's a lot of you might even say they're like the cat that jumps on the trash can type things, but purposefully, there's a lot of distractions when you're watching, young, beautiful people play in the ocean. There's girls screaming because their boyfriends are pinching their bottoms or whatever.
Pinching their bottom. How old are you?
I am going to be 106 this December. I fought in 2 world wars.
Yeah.
So it's very, especially the first half of this movie is so effective at getting you into Brody's head. It really kept stressing me out. Maybe because I just do not like being approached by people who were just talking. It felt like everyone was just walking up to him and they're already halfway through a sentence when they're talking to him.
And you kind of can't understand what they're saying, but it doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter. It's just there to be all the townspeople, because it's a small town. They know each other and they're like, oh, I've got a complaint. I'll go talk to Brody.
I tried to paint my fence, and I also when they're out on the Orca and they're trying to fix it, and it's just I think it's Quentin Hooper that are under the hull working on something, and you just see their hands come up grabbing wrenches or whatever and going back. It's so cool. What a creative shot for nothing is happening. I mean, it is, but nothing important is happening.
Well, and then on the boat there, it's just right after the USS Indianapolis story, and then the shark starts ramming into the hull of the boat.
Yeah.
Prophesied by your book that freaked out Mrs. Brody earlier, where the shark is bashing its face into the boat. And then the lights go out. The electricity goes out in the boat. So they're all in silhouette, framed by the windows of the boat where you see the ocean.
So cool.
This Jaws movie, you got to check it out.
There's a moment where Brody is trapped inside the cabin. Mm-hmm. I can't remember where everyone else is in that moment. And I
think they're all dead. I mean, Hooper is at the bottom of the ocean and Quentin's dead and the ship is going down.
Yeah. And the shark
and the door got slammed shut by the water.
The shark's attacking and he's just stuck inside in the portion, and you see it rocking back and forth and filling with water. And it's claustrophobic, but also we're not we're not always like on a tight shot. It's like, so I think I was more freaked out by the mid shot, like being a
seeing
little
the
bit
whole
outside.
room, like
you see how dire the situation, because they're in the middle of the ocean. He's going down.
you're not claustrophobic. There's a whole ocean you could be in as well with the man-eating shark who really holds a grudge.
You're
which I can respect.
And sharkophobic. Yeah, and they mentioned that they're like, when you see them when they finally do head back, they're not actually that far out, which is kind of funny. But apparently they intentionally shot it. Spielberg intentionally shot it where you can't see the land for most of the time, and then when they do start swimming back, you're like, oh yeah, they're gonna make it back. Like, you know, like it's not. I think
far. You do see there are a few land shots like right at the end where you do see the presumably
they have driven
the island.
Back a little bit at that point. But it's very cool. One of my favorite Quint lines that I forgot before was during the attack, a candle flips over, or like a torch, whatever, and it just catches the boat on fire, and he goes, "Gee, put out the fire, would you?" Like, just so casual. He's like, "Ah!" Yes.
The lantern falls. I also think it's a good. The shark isn't alien-like massive, but it is massive enough that you like, because you see it swim past the boat, so you see the boat as a comparison to this shark. It's really effectively done. And they do a good job of explaining these barrels so that when you see, not with 3 barrels on them, not with 3, when the barrels start going underwater, you're like, because that's a game we've all played, where you have the beach ball at the pool and you try and
you let it
push it under,
and then you let it,
and then it flips you over and you fall in the water.
I think it's fun. It's almost as if they knew what they were doing.
It's almost like limitations breed creativity.
No,
shark's not working.
That would
Mr.
be
Spielberg.
That would be an axiom if it was true. So I don't think so. Do you have a nominee? So I will second.
Quint is my
Do you have
my COH? I mean, I want to say the USS Indianapolis scene. I might also say the July 4th beach scene are 2 very good scenes. I think I would lean towards the USS Indianapolis. The whole
it's just so that's probably what I'm going to remember about it. Just like, it's so masterfully done and leads up to the tension, and man, explains his whole thing. You know, it's very good.
You don't have to just do exposition at the beginning, or as this big. I mean, that is kind of a big reveal, but it's not like everyone was going around, why does Quint hunt sharks so much? What's up with Quint? I hope we find out perhaps in the 3rd act what's going on with Quint. There's not all that. It's just like, hey, by the way, I also feel a vengeance towards these animals.
Do you think it's related?
Probably am fucking also terrified of them. When he gets bitten by the shark and gets taken down, there is like this tragic moment of like, you survived.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what I'm also now thinking about? When he's telling the USS Indianapolis, another relatable part of it is like, and that's when I got scared, is like when they came to rescue us. And I was like, I just need to last long enough for my turn to get out of here. Will they eat me in the meantime?
Yeah, it's good. It's good shit. Seconded. Let's go to the verdict. Let's swim.
Hold on. This
carefully.
is when I screw up.
Yeah, you got to write it down.
I don't write it down.
Put it in your little notebook. Catherine O'Hara Memorial MVP Award goes to Quint.
And SF.
Sally Field Memorial.
USS.
Single Scene Award.
Indy.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Circle City, Indianapolis.
Let's go. Let's swim to the verdict carefully with barrels.
I used to be scared of the water. He doesn't have the accent.
Used to be scared of the water.
I suddenly remembered my Charlemagne.
Damon, hit me.
Good. It's a good movie. It's an American classic. It's a fan. It really is. I mean, it may not trigger all my feels that ever, like, it may not be my favorite Spielberg movie, but I recognize, like, this may be as close to a perfect movie as there is. Like, I don't even with movies that are my favorite, I'm usually like, oh, that line reading is kind of weird.
Yeah,
or, that scene feels stupid. But I don't have that here. This all feels to be a well-oiled machine. It's pitch perfect. I do want to mention this, since my verdict is good job. One of my favorite artists that I follow, Will Roquefort, he did a painting of it almost feels like a deleted scene. It's the kids graffitiing the sign of Amity, the big billboard that the mayor is pissed about.
Yeah.
He did it. It's like a nighttime shot. It's so perfect. And Spielberg, I think Spielberg bought it off of him.
Oh, nice.
He's a really he's a great artist, sort of in the vein of Norman Rockwell, that really mid-century realism look. I really like him, but he did a great painting for Jaws.
For Jaws.
I don't know why. Why did I fall apart at the end? Just talk like a human would talk.
Well, this is I hate to disagree with you, but no, this movie's great. Your inner child's not an idiot. Maybe Lauren suggested that my inner child was an idiot for not liking it enough, but I do think that like this is a good example.
Take that, dumb kid.
This is an example of how something can be, like you said, maybe even technically near perfect or just really well done, and still it doesn't strike you. But at the same time, I liked it a lot. I really enjoyed watching it. I think I appreciated it a lot more this time than kind of ever before, just because I think I still, especially as a kid, like categorized it as like a horror movie, even though I knew it was Spielberg. And it definitely has that like the thriller, freaky elements, but it's just so good. And it also has a lot of humor, a lot of good characters. It is very like, I don't think this is even a knock against it, but you got to be able to pay attention to see some of these things, to like catch some of the dialogue where they're talking all over each other, some good lines that Quint mumbles through or whatever, but like, but it's great. This movie's great. The score's great.
Score's great. Direction's great.
The acting's great. I mean, what do you want?
What more can you want?
Don't get attacked by sharks. I'll tell you that. Be careful in the ocean.
What if I get bitten by a shark and then it leads me? No, because then it seems like I'm making fun of that girl who got bitten by a shark. They made that Christian movie about me.
Listen, no one did anything wrong that was attacked by a shark in this movie. Well, that's not true. Quint.
Wait, what did Quint do? Why did Quint?
Well, I don't think he did anything wrong, like morally. Well, I guess I don't know. I don't know enough to judge Quint's moral. I was just saying, like the lady skinny dipping. You want to skinny dip in the ocean? Skinny dip. You just gotta be careful.
Be careful. I would caution against especially the gentleman who seems a lot more intoxicated than she was.
Yeah.
Be careful swimming while drunk.
Yeah. But usually not because of sharks, but because of drowning.
Because of drowning.
What do you think, everybody? Your inner child is an idiot at gmail.com is our email. You can text us or leave us a voicemail at 615-576-05. Want to thank our patrons for swimming along with us.
Why'd you do the Cher voice?
I don't know.
Swimming.
With
bow-legged women.
Want to thank our patrons, including Lindsay, Halik,
Zachary Hartley,
the supreme ruler of this podcast,
Captain Jean-Luc Picard,
the Hands of Fate,
Jackson,
Dr. Malcolm's Heaving, Bosom,
Caroline Amberson,
Josh Frigo,
Jeremy Powlen,
His Honor the Mayor, but the good one.
Not. A semi-corrupt mayor. Yeah. Tommy Boy is my favorite movie. Sorry, Jaws.
Even over Jaws. Wow. Tippy Von Cheaterly.
Karen Kurd.
T. Smith.
Travis Vance.
Particle Man.
Larissa Maestro.
Little Miss Chicken Nugget.
Stuart J.
It had the cadence of a joke.
Jonathan Day.
Dramatically placed hot dog.
Holiday classic, jingle all the way.
Lindsay Nell.
The elusive fan Gromkin.
Bill Haynes.
Shit on the Cartouche.
Beth Surmont.
And the Zesty. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you all very much. If you want to support like them, patreon.com/yourinchildless an idiot. That's a part I always forget.
Oh, remember when the guy in the boat? Did we ever see that guy? Not the guy in the boat. I mean, there were plenty of guys in boats. The jump scare with his eyes gone. Oh, did we ever hear about him before? Was anyone like, where's old man?
I don't think so, but maybe.
Okay. Guess you're right. Piece of shit movie. Plot holes all the way through it.
Plot holes everywhere. Like holes in a hole. What?